guys, good morning. I'm MagdalineJanet. If you are new, if I look a little weird, it's because I have my foundation on that's very light for me. I don't have anything on my under eyes. I don't ever put foundation or anything on my under eyes besides color corrector and concealer. I do have my eye cream on. I've had it on for a while now, maybe like 30 minutes. Eye cream really just helps smooth out that area because I have very dry under eyes. This is a matte concealer, so I'm not sure how matte it is. So let's see how it works out because I usually avoid matte concealers due to my under eyes being on the dry side. The component's pretty big. How big is it? 0.24. The average concealer size is 0.3, so it's a little smaller. The container is just big. I've tried Patrick Starr's makeup before. I did try the powder foundation. Did notice that those shades ran very, very, very warm on the yellow side. This is a neutral, so let's hope it works out. I wanted to get medium with the rosy undertones because rosiness will help cancel out the darkness, but it was already sold out when I went to Sephora yesterday. Okay, so, ooh, look at this. Doe foot applicator. It has like a little slant. A little bit on the warm side, although it's neutral. Yeah, you see? It's very warm. Place it on. We're gonna put just, I'm like the darkest right here. It feels very lightweight. Let's throw a little on here. I love the doe foot. It's so tiny. It allows you to get in here. Look, just one dip is really like helping. What I'm gonna do is let this sit, let it dry down, thicken up so we can get more coverage, and then I'll be back. All right guys, so on one side, on the left side, I'm gonna use a brush to blend it out, and on the right side, I'm going to use the sponge, and in the meantime, I'm gonna give you all the info about the product. The new One Size by Patrick Starr Turn Up the Base Buttersilk Concealer retails for $25. Medium to R for Rosy. This is an all-day wear, do it all, medium to full coverage concealer that acts as the most targeted texture solver, gliding on skin like butter on toast. The coverage is full, the finish is matte. Highlighted ingredients is caffeine that helps visibly depuff and support skin. Avocado and mango butters that hydrate and nourish to smooth texture. Exclusive peptide blends that supports natural collagen to help improve skin texture. This is cruelty-free and paraben-free. Wow. 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 It does have a matte effect because it did dry down fairly quickly, but we have coverage up in here. Where's the darkness? Where? ¿A dónde? Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised. With concealers, you never know. They could be a hot mess, just in general. It's creasing, but it doesn't say it's a creaseless concealer. It's kind of hard to make creaseless concealers, I feel. And I feel like both sides look good, like the brush and the sponge. I usually like one over the other, but look at that coverage. Let me look up so you can see. Look, the discoloration, my hyperpigmentation on my lids, gone. I am going to use the L'Oreal Hydro Perfect setting powder. This setting powder is my favorite setting powder, drugstore setting powder for my under eyes. When it comes to setting powder, it's very important because a lot of them look beautiful on the skin but don't work for the under eye area. And you can have a good concealer, like great, but if you don't have a good setting powder, it's gonna mess everything up. What I'm gonna do is on the left side with the brush, I'm gonna use a brush. Set it. So I'm using this LA Colors brush, get a bunch of product, and then we want to get rid of it. I'm gonna go back in, get rid of any creases. With concealer, I always say less is more because I have creasy under eyes. The more product we put, the more likely it's gonna get in those lines and it's gonna be harder to blend out, and it's most likely just going to crease even if you set down. Tapping away the creases. While still looking up, I'm just gonna tap in the powder. Just gently. It's setting beautifully. And then towards the lids, let's do that too. On this side, we're gonna use the sponge and also a powder puff. I get these from Amazon. I really like this. And this is actually my preferred method. I get a bunch of the powder, even it out on the skin because you don't want to have a big spot of powder in one spot. I'm gonna tap away the creases once again. Look up and tap in the powder. Again, we don't have a lot of powder because we evened it out on the skin. What do you think? Look at this. I look a little pale, I know I do, but let's look at the concealer. Let me look up. What I like most is the coverage, yet it's lightweight. It feels very nice and it blended out beautifully even when I let it sit on the under eyes for a good minute. Like I saw it physically that it was dry and I'm like, oh hell, am I gonna be able to blend this bad boy out? And it just whoosh. Another thing I want to show you guys is my hand. It oxidizes a little because look, let me show you. You see that first one I put? So keep that in mind, not a little. It oxidizes like a full shade, maybe a shade and a half. So keep that in mind. Currently 8:10 in the AM. I'm just gonna finish up my face. Hello, hello, I am back, full face and everything. Concealer, you guys. Oh wait, I didn't curl my lashes, hold on. All right, eyelashes curled. The coverage is A1. I have dark under eyes, you can really see them. Since I got my new camera, I feel like you can really see like my texture on my skin, the darkness. So I do like that you can really see how dark my under eyes are, that dip that looks very like defined when I don't have any makeup on. I just love the coverage. Last couple months I've been using color correct, but with this concealer I have coverage. I don't see any grayness. I don't see that I'm gonna look gastada pretty much, and I like it. I think the coverage is beautiful. The texture is great. It's thin, but it gives you coverage. So let me look up so you can see. Here is the brush side. Here is the sponge side. Let me look straight ahead. And looking directly, it is creasing, so keep that in mind. They're both creasing. I kind of have to go back and get rid of the creases. With creases, you can alleviate that by putting less product. So tomorrow I'll put even less product because I know now what we're working with. Nothing like a good concealer day, you know. Let me jump in front of the window so you guys can see, because in daylight, concealer is a game changer. It'll look good here, and in daylight, it could completely fall apart, you know. I want to tell you guys my lip combo is this Koki in True Red and this e.l.f. Seriously lipstick in Raspberry. Woohoo! All right, see you later. Bye. Hola, hola. Here is the concealer. Right here we have the brush. And right here we have the powder puff with the sponge. I feel like in daylight, the powder puff with the sponge looks a little bit better than the brush, but not far off. Like they both look really good, but it looks slightly smoother looking at it right now directly. Look at the coverage. I really like it. It's just like beautiful coverage, and it's just matching this very simple makeup we have going on, you know? But yeah. Okay, ciao. Hello guys, I am back. It is 9:00 p.m. We've had the concealer on for about 12 hours. And before we get started, I do want to show you how the concealer was looking in daylight, and it was looking pretty good. Coverage was very nice. It was still there. It was still placed on. The under eyes just had a very nice bright look to them. And here we are now, and I feel like nothing has really changed. We still have coverage. We still have a little bit of brightness. It's not as bright anymore because you can see a little bit of the darkness there, but that happens. I was in the sun for like 2 hours today, and it's been really hot today in LA. So the fact that the makeup is actually still on says a lot, because girl. So let's look closely. We do have very creasy. It does crease a lot. A little bit goes a long way. So let's kind of like touch it up and see how it would look. My mascara's over here flaking, trying to sabotage the situation. I feel like the brush has lasted a little longer than the powder puff. This isn't on camera, but here close up, this side looks better. Like the powder puff and the sponge look better. I don't know, we'll see tomorrow how it works out, but I'm very pleasantly surprised how it worked out, especially because I was out today and it was really hot, and the fact that we're still put together and we don't look gastadas, we're good. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye. Hola, welcome back. Oh my God, my voice just completely cracked. Welcome back to day number 2. So guys, I'm so excited because I got the other shade that I was talking about, the shade medium 2R for Rosy. Rosy being a little bit on the pink side, which will do a little more color correcting for us since we do have darkness in the under eyes. Medium 1N. So medium 1N right there, and it does oxidize. You know, I drove way close to the beach to get this bad boy. I don't live close to the beach, okay? I was determined to get it. It was sold out everywhere to buy in stores, you know? Medium 2R for Rosy. Oh, I can see the rosy tone. Yeah. So, medium R. Can you tell the difference? Let me know, let me know. Actually, let me go in front of the window so you guys can really see it. Oh yeah, you could see it here. So medium R is the one to the right, the one that has the pinky, and then the medium neutral is the one that's a little on the yellow side. That's wet towards the left. Just keep in mind, if you're a neutral, I would probably go with the rosy. Rosy is rosy. She's rosy and we like her. So what I'm gonna do is color correct the left eye and then use rosy on the right side by its own. The idea for getting it is for it to also color correct. I'm just gonna color correct very little right here because this is where I'm the darkest and this is where like that dip is, you know? So we're a little bit dried down. Let's blend her out. I'm just tapping with the sponge. You see with the color corrector alone just kind of snatches you up. It's a little bit deeper, but it has the right undertone, which is what we need, especially when we have darkness all up in here. We want to just cancel it out. Let's add a little bit here because you see I just have darker lids. I'm testing out a new foundation and it's really light, if you couldn't tell already. And oopsies, let's just do that. I'm just tapping with my beauty blender sponge and then let's get up here. I do not like heavy concealers, especially anything that goes on the under eye area. That area is so thin, like so thin. Anything heavy would just weigh them down. You'll look gastada real quick. We don't want that, you know? Although we use color corrector, but look at the before and after. It's like legit a difference. Because I've always had darker under eyes. It's a hereditary thing. There's no sleep that can like take it away. It does help when I drink water. A lot of times the area looks a little more hydrated and looks a little bit more plumped when I'm on my water game. That's the only thing that I find that really helps it. You know what I like about this? This a little bit goes a long way. Like very little gives you enough coverage to cover. Get which side's which, because I'll forget. Right side with the piercings is with no corrector, and then the left side's with corrector. Back to the water talk. I usually drink about a minimum of 1.5 liters of water or up to a gallon. So I'm always in between that. Drinking a gallon is always my goal, but that doesn't always happen. So just to give you like reference on how much water I drink, you know? All right, let's start blending away. You see it dries down. You see how it's not shiny anymore? So it does have the matte-ness to it, but it blends out beautifully. Look at this. Look how it's blending. So that's rare when it comes to concealers and them being matte. If they're matte, a lot of times they're matte. They're not moving, so you kind of have to work quickly. But here, it's like we have dry time. What do we think? What do we think? This is with corrector, without corrector, using the new shade. Let me look up. I just like it. I think the shade we got is perfect. It's our shade. And what time is it right now? It's early. Well, kind of. 7:50. So let's set this bad boy. What setting powder did we use yesterday? I always like to use a drugstore and a high-end setting powder for both days. So we're going to use Huda Beauty's in Banana Bread. Going to get on our powder puff I get from Amazon. Get powder, but really even it out on the hand. I repeat myself a lot because I feel like it's really important to teach you what I know. Just help navigate through makeup. I mean, you guys help me a ton. It's like a community we have here, a beautiful one. Little family here. Okay, so we're just blending out the creases because it does crease. So as we're looking up, we're gonna start tapping that setting powder in. This is the eye with the corrector. And I just tap in maybe about 10 to 15 seconds. What do we think? What do we think? I really like it. Let me look up. This is with corrector. This is without. Hello, I am back, guys. Concealer is looking good. I feel like it does warm up to the skin very, very nicely. What I did do, or wait, I want to do, so I noticed, I can't speak. What I noticed is that the Huda Beauty setting powder did darken the area just a little bit, a little too much for my liking. So usually you want to use a setting powder that's translucent or a little lighter so it doesn't darken up the situation up in here. So what I want to get is this KK Beauty, what is this called? Finishing powder? Brightening powder. Or you can get like another setting powder like this Koki. It has like a translucent look to it, but we can get like the KK Beauty. Hell, let's mix it with the Koki. get a blending brush and then just kind of brush it here, brighten up this area, especially right here where it's the darkest. You see, it'll give it like a brighter effect. Slightly, nothing too harsh. We don't want to be looking super bright and not matching the rest of the face, you know? So you can just do this motion, just like tap it over. And I usually like to get it with the brush because the brush just can target that one area. Actually, it's creasing, so let's kind of, okay, let's look. So here is the one we color corrected, and here is the side we just used the concealer on its own. And let's look up. Oh, I'm loving it today. It does crease a lot. I've said that 100 times, but I do want to, like always, I want you guys to get all the D. I like it. I like it. So, oh, I'm so excited. So the lip I'm wearing today is It's Hotter from these NYX XXL lingerie lippies. You guys know. Oh yeah, and I'll have everything linked down below. I always get the questions, who, what, when, where, and why, and I try to get it all up in there, you know? So let's just jump in front of the window. Bye. Hola, hola, here we are in front of the window. All right, look at how the concealer looks. It literally looks so much better in daylight, like legit. Here on this side is the one we use color corrector. And here on this side is the one we just use the concealer. Look at the concealer side. Doesn't it look good? I don't know which one looks better. Maybe this one? Just the concealer side working on its own. We like it, huh? Okay, ciao. Hey guys, I'm back. So it is 10 o'clock in the evening. I've had the concealer on forever now. I feel like 12, 13 hours. But before we get started, I want to show you how the concealer looks in daylight. I took this footage at around 6 o'clock in straight up golden hour so you guys can see how the coverage looks at this point. And I feel like at this point it was like 8, 9, hell, maybe even 10 hours. And the concealer looks super, super freaking good. Here we are about 12, I don't know, 13 hours later, a long time. And look at the concealer. This is the side that had the corrector, and then this is the side with just the concealer. Let me look up. I love the coverage. I think it's beautiful. It has this full coverage look without feeling it. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't weigh your under eyes down, and it gives you coverage. I always look for coverage, especially because I do color correct. I need that concealer to really cover these bags. I don't know which side I like more, if it's the side that has the corrector or the concealer, because I feel like they both look the same. If I were to choose, I would probably choose the corrector side because it's a tad bit smoother. They both look very, very similar. They don't look too different. You know, the only thing I will say is that the concealer does crease a lot. I'm like, I'll just kind of tap it with my finger throughout the day. If I see creases going on, just gently, if you just tap like this, you'll just kind of sweep the creases away and it'll just look fine. As long as we have good coverage, I think that's what's most important, especially if you have dark under eyes. The creases, that's just gonna happen. But overall, I absolutely love this. I really feel like this shade, the medium 2R, is perfection. I love that it dries down matte, but it's blendable all at the same time. It kind of gives you the best of both worlds. You know, if you are my skin tone, I definitely recommend the medium 2R. Let me know your thoughts. Have you tried this out? I know it just released. I love concealers. You guys saw my concealer drawer, you know. Yeah, I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the love and support you constantly show me. I love you guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, click the button right here, and I'll see you the next one. Bye.